Welcome to Jimi Zen Reads Jasper and the Moon's Tale by Jimi Zen. There are many types and breeds of doggies in this world. There are big dogs, small dogs, smart dogs, scruffy dogs, muddy dogs, waggly-tailed dogs, mad dogs, excitable dogs, grumpy dogs, barky dogs, yappy dogs, tail-chasing dogs, stinky dogs, daft dogs, hot dogs, and least of all, not forgetting the dribbling and slobbery type dogs. This tale is about the world's most chocolatey, smiliest and spotty of our four-legged friends. This marvellous munchkin is called Jasper, a magnificent, loving, slobbering, strong, brave and happy Dalmatian hound, and he is my bestest and beastiest of friends. His eyes are big and brown and full of love. His bark, which he saves especially for either excitement or the delivery dude, is deep and proud. He wears a brown leather collar with a brown skull and crossbones tag around his neck, and he loves the water. Well, as a once-old pirate dog, he most certainly should do, but that's a story for another day. Jasper is a very talented dog too. His skills and fortitude surprise me every day. For example, he can hear a biscuit tin being opened from under two duvets, and whilst being 2 rooms away, no matter how quietly you think you're opening it, then, like a flash, he'll be in the kitchen, dragging at least one of the duvets and wearing a pitiful, "I'm starving" look upon his long and sleek spotted face. He can always be tempted with a morsel of food, and will sit gladly in wait at meal times with a foot-long slobbering drool bouncing from his chops. Jasper can fall asleep in under 7 seconds, when his duvet is just right, or if I've sat down for a minute, he cutches in, rests his head on my lap, and just like that, he drifts off and gives a little snore. Jasper's favourite things in the whole world are running and sniffing things. This he can do all day. Napping, again, can do this all day. And eating, which he would love to do all day. And gnawing and gnashing at his bone in place of trying to eat all day. So, one fine evening, when the moon was full and the gentle evening's estuary tide was coming in, Jasper, our four-legged friend, was feeling exceptionally pleased with himself, as he was, after all, out and bounding through the quiet Welsh moonlit woods and through the undergrowth with his nose down and his tail up. He was searching, as always, in his quest to find some of his furry friends to play with. But alas, no matter where he darted and dashed to this evening, there was no sign whatsoever of his companions and playmates. Must be bath night, he thought. So Jasper continued and trundled on his search for possible forgotten morsels left by lapsy picnickers from their afternoon's trek. Sniffing and snorting and just happy to be, missing not a blade of grass or an empty wrapper, he came out from the bushes and woods and found himself landed upon the beach. The feel of sand under his paws always makes his waggliest of tails squirl and dance, for then he saw the water and the strangest of sights. For the estuary waters tonight are still, not a ripple passed over this calm sea, as the north wind had blown itself out and was resting for a little while, for now it was almost midwinter, and it had a lot more work to do. On this night, however, the wind wanted only to watch the world as a calm measure. Light glistened across the water from distant farms and cottages, whilst one big light echoed silently, brightly and fervently, for tonight the silvery moon has a tail, and Jasper looks in awe and wonderment. Wow, thinks Jasper, that tail is bigger than mine. The moon must want to play. Getting to the moon for us may seem very distant and far, far away. To Jasper, though, it doesn't. In fact, it's quite the opposite. To Jasper, the moon seems only as far away or as close to him as what he can sniff and visually play. The moon winked across the calm water and waggled its tail to Jasper's mind, inviting our friend to come and play. He looked at me with hope in his eyes. "Go on then," I said, and off he ran straight into the sea towards the moon's bright and glorious flickering tail. The moon was teasing Jasper from its celestial plane, tricking the poor dog by dancing in the water and glistening the while. Both the moon and Jasper winked to each other and splashed and splashed and chased each other's tails through the shallows, squirreling and jumping, and merriment was found. Some curious salmon was swimming by and saw this spectacle between the moon and the hound, and watched for a while. One young salmon exclaimed, "What joy!" and jumped out of the water towards Jasper's tail. "Oh, wow," thought our Jasp, 2 new friends in a day. The moon beckoned them forward, and they all splashed and played for a while, until, alas, I called Jasp, as he must surely now be starting to get cold. The salmon jumped out of the water again, in his way of thanking Jasper for this wonderful game. Jasper bowed graciously to the fish and the moon, then barked to them both, "Hope to play again with you soon." "It's time to go home now," I said. "There's a good boy. Almost time for bed." A happy and tired Jasper goes home for a nice big rub with his blanket and a good warm by the toasty log fire and a lovely morsel of grub. So bedtime came around again, as it inevitably does, with Jasper all warm and curled up in his favourite snug, namely, in my bed, and he drifted gently into his sweet lullaby. Jasper was pleased and happy and glad for this day. After all, it's not that often that the moon wants to play. The end.